Okay, good morning or good day, everyone. This morning or this day, I'm going to talk about how to solve for an independent samples t-test. So this will be included in your examination. So I want you to listen very carefully for this one. So I really took time to look for ways para lang maka-discuss ano sa inyo in an online way or para sa online kay it's very difficult to discuss solving if online siya, so I had to do this. So there are different types of designs and research. We have correlational, comparative, and experimental, right? But for independent samples t-test, this will be used for if you have a comparative research. So, kailan ba ginagamit si independent samples t-test, sir? If you can still remember, there are two types of t-test, right? They are independent samples t-test and the dependent samples t-test. But we are going to talk about independent samples t-test. Now, sir, kailan ba ginagamit si independent samples t-test? Ginagamit si independent samples t-test if there are two scores or if there are two groups, okay? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng two groups or two scores, sir? When we say two groups or two scores, you want to compare the scores of the first group and the scores of the second group. For example, sino ba ang mas may mataas na score? Mga students ba ng OLF or mga students ba ng OLG? So, if you want to compare the scores from two sections, then that's independent samples t-test kasi ang scores galing sa dalawang magkahiwalay na group. But if you want to compare the scores of the same group before and after, let's say for example, scores ng mga taga-OLF nung hindi pa sila tinuruan ng research versus the scores of OLF nung tinuruan na sila ng research. But if you want to compare the before and after scores of the students or the people in that particular group, then you'll have to use dependent samples t-test. Pero pagka ang data or the scores are coming from two separate groups, ang gamitin natin is si independent samples t-test. Alright? Now, let's try to have this one as our example. So, you want to compare the scores of the students from OLF and OLG. Let's talk about this. Let's say for example, ito daw yung mga scores ng mga tao sa OLF. Okay? So, ito daw yung mga scores ng mga tao sa OLF. Yan sila. Itong mga 8, 2, 9, and 5. Yun yung mga scores nila. Habang yung sa kabila naman na section, which is the OLG, ito naman yung mga scores nila. Okay? So, let's try to compare if may difference ba? Is there a significant difference between the scores of the two groups? Ganyan kasi ang tinatanong pagka comparative research. Ang last question, is there a significant difference? Meaning, may kaibahan ba ang scores nilang dalawa? So, in solving for the t-test or the independent samples t-test, we'll have to use this formula. So, this is going to be read as T is equal to mean of the first group, that's x bar sub 1 minus x bar sub 2 over the square root of summation of x sub 1 squared minus summation of x sub 1 close and open parenthesis squared over n plus summation of x sub 2 squared minus summation of x sub 2 open and close parenthesis squared over n all over n sub 1 minus 1 plus n sub 2 minus 2 multiplied to 1 over n sub 1 plus 1 over n sub 2. Sir, parang ang dami namang mga elements niya. And so there are actually 8 elements that you'll have to prepare in order for you to be able to use that formula. So the first element is this one. Si x bar sub 1. Sir, paano ba kukunin si x bar sub 1? Makukuha natin si x bar sub 1 if, okay, listen, x bar sub 1, if makukuha natin ang mean ng scores from the first group, which is the OLF, right? Same thing with x bar sub 2. Ito yung mean. But since sub 2 siya, meaning that's from the mean from the second group. Again, x bar sub 1, that's the mean from the first group. And x bar sub 2, that's the mean from the second group. Next is the summation of x sub 1. So basically, you'll just have to add everything or every scores found on the first group. Summation of x bar sub 2, you'll just have to add every scores found in group 2. Next, x bar sub 1 squared, ito siya, x bar sub 1 squared, that means you will have to add the scores or the squared scores from the group 1. Same thing with x bar sub 2 squared. You'll just have to add every squared scores from the second group. N sub 1, that's the number of samples or the number of scores from the first group. N sub 2 is the number of scores from the second group. So pag may mga sub 1, meaning from the first group yan. Pero pagka may mga sub 2, that means from group 2. Now, let's try to solve. Kunin natin yung mga scores or itong mga elements na to so that we can use them already. So, this is how it goes. So, in order for you, ito siya mga blank, ito siya, mga blank na siya when you will have your exam, mga blank yan siya. But, itong x bar sub x sub 1, x sub 2, given na yan siya lahat. So, ito siya. Pagpalagay natin ng mga blank itong dito. Pagpalagay natin ng mga blank yan sila. So, what we need to do first is x sub 1 squared. Ito siya. I'm looking at this one. X sub 1 squared, meaning you have to look at x sub 1, and then i-squared mo daw siya. So, x sub 1 is 8. Ano ba ang squared ng 8? That means, pag sabing squared, you'll have to multiply it to itself. That's 8 times 8, that's 64. Kaya tayo may 64 dito. So, you'll just have to do that same thing all throughout the other numbers. 2 squared, that's 4. 9 squared, that's 9 times 9, that's 81. 5 times 5, that's 5 squared, that's 25. And 3 times 3, that's 3 squared, that's 9. So that's how it's obtained. Next, x sub 2 squared, so meaning x sub 2, tingin ka sa second group, and squared mo daw sila. That means you have to multiply the number by itself. So look at the first data or the first number. 5 multiplied by itself, that's 5 squared, that's 25. 6 squared, that's 6 multiplied to 6, that's 36. 7 times 7, that's 49. 8 times 8, that's 64. And 4 times 4, that's 16. So, alam na natin yung mga, na-fill out na natin yung table. So, kunin natin ito lahat. So, x bar sub 1. Again, x bar sub 1, that's the mean or the average from the first group. So, paano yan siya kukunin? So, you'll have to add everything on the first group. Ito sila. So, that's 8 plus 2 plus 9 plus 5 plus 3. So, that's 27. And then, divide mo sila kung ilan sila. So, that's 5, diba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divide mo sila. So, the answer is, dito, ilagay mo siya, is 5.4. Because 5.4, 27 divided by 5, that's 5.4. I hope that's clear. So, again, that's 5.4. Lagyan natin dito, 5.4. Next, so kunin na naman natin si x bar sub 2. I'll give you some time to think. Try nyo daw i-solve siya and then I'll give you some time and then let's see if tama ba ang answer ninyo. So again, x bar sub 2, you'll just have to add everything here on this column and then check nyo siya if tama. Okay. So basically, that's 5 plus 6. That's 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 4. So that's 30. Divide mo siya sa ilan? 5, diba? Why 5? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. May 5 data ka lang. So that's 30 divided by 5. The answer is 30 divided by 5. The answer is, of course, 6. Next, summation of x bar sub 1. So pag sinabing summation of x bar sub 1, x sub 1, so tingnan niyo siya dito na column. Ito siya. So i-add niyo lang siya lahat. Kanina, ang answer niya is ilan nga ulit 'yan? Ang answer niya is 27. Diba? 27. Tama ba? And then the second group, i-add niyo siya dito lahat. The answer is 30. Next is sige, from the first group, the answer is it's 27 and dito naman is 30. Next, dito i-add mo naman siya lahat dito. To x bar sub 1, x sub 1 squared. So ito yung x sub 1 squared. So i-add niyo siya lahat. That's 64 plus 4 plus 81 plus ayun, so 64 plus 4 plus 81 plus 25 plus 9. That's 183. So 183. Next, ito naman siya x, a summation of x sub 2 squared. Ito siya. I-add nyo to siya lahat. 25 plus 36 plus 49 plus 64 plus 16. Answer is 190. Next, n sub 1. Ano ba yung n sub 1, sir? That refers to the number of samples from the first group. Ilang samples pa ang meron sa first group? Ito yung first group mo. So, ilan ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, may 5. So, you'll have to put 5 here. Then, ilan ba sa second group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, since may 5, 5 din ang ilagay mo dito. So, you are now done with the elements. So, x sub 1 is 5.1. 5.1 ba yun? Wait lang. X sub 1, that's 5.4. Okay. So, aside from these elements, meron din other things that you have to prepare. These are the things that you have to prepare. Ano ba yung alpha value, sir? Usually, ang alpha value, ginabigay na yan siya ng advisor, kung sino man nagpapagawa ng research nyo. And usually, ang alpha value is 0.05 yan. And this is very important for us to be able to identify the critical value. Later, I'll teach you how to get the critical value. But in the examination, given na siya. So, hindi na kayo maghanap dun sa t-table and there's no need for you to bring a t-table anymore because, again, given na si critical value. Now, ano ba si degrees of freedom, sir? Si degrees of freedom, this can be obtained by using this formula. That's n sub 1 minus n sub 1 plus n sub 2, n sub 1 minus 1 plus n sub 2 minus 2. Ano ba yun si n sub 1, sir? Si n sub 1, yun yung number of samples from the first group, diba? If we are going to look back on our data, there are only 5 samples, right? Or there are only 5 scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, that is 5. That is 5 minus 1. And sa second group, meron din 5 samples, diba? 5 minus 1. So that's basically 5 minus 1, that's 4. Plus 5 minus 1, that's again 4. So our degrees of freedom is 8. So ito lang na formula ang gamitin para makuha natin si degrees of freedom. I hope that's clear. Next, paano ba kunin si critical value, sir? Para makuha si critical value, you'll have to use what do you call this? You have to use a t-table. T-table. Ito si t-table. Ganito siya. Ganito siya. Wait. Ito yung itsura ni t-table. So, how do we use t-table, sir? So, gagamitin natin siya. You have to look at the DF first. As you can see here on this side, ito siya kanang sa pinaka-left na portion. As you can see, may DF dyan. So, ilan yung DF natin kanina? Going back, we have 8 as our DF, right? 8 ang atong DF. So, you have to look for 8 here. So, dara ang 8. Wait. So, dara ang 8. Dara ang 8. And then, sa taas, pangitaon mo si 0.05 because that's your alpha value. So, dara si 0.05. So, pangitaon mo kung asa nag-meet si 8 and si 0.05, which is makita na to as 2.306. Ba tayo? So, ang alpha value, or ang critical value niya is, ang critical value natin is positive or negative 2.306. Sir, asan ganit nakuha si 2.306, sir? Again, nakuha natin yan siya using the t-table. Pangitaon mo una si DF, which is 8 in that case, and then 0.05, and then pangitaon mo kung asa nag-meet si 8 and si 0.05. I believe this is very easy for you because you also had the experience of using a z-table during your grade 11. Now, we are done with the critical value, but we have to really remember that the critical value has two sides, positive and negative, kasi both left and right yan siya. So later on, I'll draw a bell curve and you'll understand ano yung meaning ng 2.306. So next, we have hypothesis. So in this case, we will be using two-tailed. Ano ba yung two-tailed, sir? Dalawa kasi ang hypothesis. We have one-tail. Pag sinabing one-tail, sinasabi lang kung sinasabi niya kung sino yung mas mataas and sino yung may mas mababang score. But pag two-tailed, sinasabi niya lang kung may difference ba, may significant difference ba yung score, or magkakaparehas lang ba yung score. Again, pag one-tailed, sinasabi niya kung sino yung may mataas na score and sino yung mas may bababang score. Pero pagka two-tailed, sinasabi niya lang kung may differences ba sa score or magkakapare-parehas lang ba yung scores. So in this case, we will be using two-tailed. Okay? So in this case, meron tayong null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. Si null hypothesis, as you can remember, sa correlational, when we say null hypothesis, there has to be always the word no. So there is no significant relationship. But since we are doing comparative research, instead of relationship, we would say difference. So our null hypothesis is there is no significant difference between scores. So, pag no significant difference, meaning walang kaibahan, meaning equal lang dalawang group. Kaya siya, first group or x sub 1 is equal x sub 2. Kasi there is no significant difference man. No significant difference. Pagka sinabi namang null hypothesis, which is denoted, alternative hypothesis, which is denoted as HA, sinasabi niya na may significant difference or with significant difference. So, ang ibig sabihin niyan, si X1, meaning, hindi parehas ang score niya kay X2 or si X2, hindi magkakaparehas ang score niya. So, meaning, there is a significant difference. Kaya ang symbol dito is not equal. Kasi nga, may significant differences. I hope that's clear. Now, pagka last one, aside from the alpha value, aside from degrees of freedom, critical value hypothesis, we also have to prepare our rule. This is where we can use the critical value. So, our critical value is 2.306. So, you'll have to draw a bell curve and then hanapin nyo si 2.306. So, somewhere, nandito siya. Banda. Diba? 2.306, dito siya. So, ang tawag natin dito sa mga shaded parts is ito yung mga rejection region. Again, ang tawag natin dito sa region na to is the rejection region. Bakit rejection region, sir? I'll explain to you later why. Tapos, I'd like to call this space here, I'll color it with red or green na lang siguro. Sige, green. Kani siyang green dire. Kani siyang green. Kana akong gikoloran. Katong puti ganina. This is what I would like to call as the acceptance region. Okay? So, dito natin makikita si 2.306. Ito siya si negative na part and dito naman siya si positive na part, 3.306. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng rule, sir? So, ang rule natin is if the t or if yung result ng gagawin nating solving later is less than or greater than 2.306, that means we have to ganito na lang. Wait. That means we have to pangit lang siya. Wait. We have to reject the null. Again, this is our rule now. Ano siya ang ginatawag na rule na something that you have to prepare as well. So that means if the t, saan ang t, sir? Ang t, mao na siya ang t, katong ganina, dapat napaya ako gihatag nga formula. Kato siya, gamiton to nato siya mag-solve, and if mag-solve ta, ang result niya, ang tawag na is the t value. So mao na siya si t. If the t is less than or greater than 2.306, asam nagikan si 2.306, sir? Muna siya ang katong critical value nga gikuha na to ganina gamit ang t-table. So if less than or greater than 0.05 daw siya, that means we have to reject. So that means if ang atong answer kay mabilong diri nga part, na mahulog diri sa mga shaded nga parts, yung mga shaded na part, that means we have to reject the null. Kaya siya tinawag na rejection region. Sir, what if, sir, hindi siya mag-fall hindi siya mag-fall dito sa mga shaded na parts, dito siya mag-fall sa green. So pag mag-fall siya sa green, that means we have to accept the null, or that means we have to fail to reject the null. That's why it's called as the acceptance region. I hope that's clear. So now let's talk about how to solve the t value. So this is again our formula. T is equal to x bar sub 1 minus x bar sub 2 over square root of summation of x sub 1 squared minus summation of x sub 1, open and close parenthesis, squared over n, plus summation of x sub 2 squared minus summation of x sub 2, open and close parenthesis, squared over n, all over n sub 1 minus 1 plus n sub 2 minus 1, multiplied to 1 over n sub 1 plus 1 over n sub 2. So this is our formula. Since kanina, kinuha natin yung mga elements natin for the formula, what we need to do is we would just have to distribute it sa ating formula. Okay? So what is our x sub 1? Wait lang. Okay, what is our What is our x sub 1? Ano yung x sub 1 natin? That's 5.4. Ano yung x bar sub 2 natin? That's 6. So saan ba kinukuha ni sir yung mga ganito? Dito sa elements na kinuha natin kanina. Sa taas. Here. Si 5.4 saka si 6. Okay? Next. Ano ba yung summation of x sub 1 squared, sir? So, kanina, i-add na to tanan. So, you just have to go back here. So, ang summation of x sub 1 squared na to is 183. So, ilagay mo siya dito na naman. 183. That's it. Ano ba yung summation of x sub 1? That's 27. Then, squared mo siya over n. Ilan ba yung n mo? Ilan ba yung number of samples mo? That's 5. So, kaya may 5 dito. What is summation of x sub 2 squared? That is 190. What is summation of x sub 2? That's 30 over n. Ang n natin is 5. Okay? Then 5 n sub 1. Ilang samples ang meron sa first group? 5. Ilang samples ang meron sa second group? That's 5. So that's 5 minus 1 plus 5 minus 1. Multiplied to 1 over 5 because 5 samples ang nasa first group and 5 samples din ang nasa second group. Okay, so same formula, minus times divide. You start with minus. 5.4 minus 6, that's negative 0.6. So, para mas madali, ganito ang gawin. So, dito ka magsisimula. That's 27 times 27 because squared siya. 27 times 27 divided by 5. Answer is 145.8. Dito na naman. 30 times 30 divided by 5. 30 times 30. And then, ang answer niya, i-divide mo sa 5. Answer is 180. I-copy mo lang si 183 and then i-copy mo lang si 190. Okay? So after that, sir, paano man to siya i-solve dito? So that's 5 minus 1, that's 4, okay? 5 minus 1, that's another 4. That's 4 plus 4, that's 8. That's why we got 8 here. 1.5, 1 divided by 5, that's 0.2. 1 divided by 5, that's 0.2. So, 0.2 plus 0.2, that's why we got 0.4 here. Okay? Next. So, tapos na tayo dyan. So, copy nyo lang to. And then, i-minus. Go back with minus. 183 minus 145.8. That is 37.2. 190 minus 180, that's 10. And then, copy nyo lang 0.4 and then copy nyo lang si A. Next. 0.6, copy nyo lang, then i-plus nyo siya, 37.2 plus 10, that's 47.2, i-divide nyo siya sa 8, answer is 5.9, and then i-copy nyo lang si 4. Again, i-plus muna si 37.2 plus 10, and then the answer will be divided to 8. Next, 0.6, i-copy nyo lang siya. 5.9 times 0.4, that's 2.36. Then, kunin nyo ang square root ni 2.36. The answer is 1.536222915. So, pwede nyo lang kunin yung first three na numbers after the decimal. Do not convert or do not round off. So, i-divide nyo negative 0.6 minus negative 0.6 divided by 1.536. The answer is negative 0.3905. So, you go back to the bell curve and hanapin nyo kung saan dito na belong si 0.3905. So, let's go back to the bell curve. 0. Negative 0. Negative 0. Pila to? 0.395. 395. So, negative, so naa siya somewhere here, right? So, naa diri si negative 0.3905. So, naa siya dire. So, since this is our result, what would you do? Do you accept or reject the null hypothesis? Asa man siya na region na belong? Naa ba siya dire sa rejection region? Or naa siya sa acceptance region? So, since this falls under the acceptance region, that means we have to accept the null hypothesis or fail to reject the null hypothesis. So, our null hypothesis is this one, right? So, this means we have to accept the null hypothesis. Again, anong i-accept si null hypothesis, sir? I-accept si null hypothesis because, again, nag-fall siya sa acceptance region. So, accept si null hypothesis. What does it mean if we accept the null hypothesis? What would be our conclusion? That means there is no significant difference between the scores of OLF and OLG. Because, again, magkakaparehas lang yung scores nila. So, that's how you solve for the independent samples t-test. Again, bakit in-accept yung null hypothesis? Because again, nag-fall yung 0.3905 sa acceptance region. And since nag-fall siya sa acceptance region, we need to accept the null. Because again, ang ruling natin kanina is if the t, which is the negative 0.3905, is less than or greater than 0.2.306, that means we have to reject the null. Pero hindi siya greater than, hindi din siya less than eh. 'Di ba? Kaya we have to accept the null hypothesis. And that means there is no significant difference between the two scores coming from OLF and OLG. So, I will be giving you an example and let's try to see if you will get this right. So, maghatag kog data and then you will try to solve it and then let's try to see if your answers are correct. Okay? Okay, you will compare the scores of Sheila and Paul. Okay, so siya inanin ninyo. So there are 2, 4, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's check. Okay, the scores are 4, 5, 3, 4, and 2. And 2, 4, 3, 5, and 5. Now, the critical value for this one would be, the critical value for this one is the same. That's 2.306. That's positive and negative, ha? So let me know if there is a significant difference between the scores of Sheila and Paul or if there is no significant difference. And later on, we'll check if it's right or wrong. So I'll give you 5 minutes. You can pause the video and solve for it and then go back, continue playing the video if you're done solving. So the answer is, so dito makikita si negative 0.2583. So nag-fall siya. Hindi siya nag-fall sa mga shaded parts. Dito siya nag-fall sa hawa na part. So that means we have to accept the null. And since we accept the null hypothesis, that means to say that there is no significant difference. And that means the score of Sheila, which is x1, is equal to the scores of Paul, that x2. This is the conclusion. x1 is equal x2. So if you have questions, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. Bye-bye.